I've just come back from IKEA, got a load of IKEA stuff. I've gone from happy to angry in 2 seconds. IKEA stuff, hey, happy, angry. Spending all yesterday staining and cutting. Don't worry about the shit tip. Staining and cutting on skateboards for it to twist. That's that angle. That's that angle. That's no good. That's a day wasted. Oh, good morning, everyone. Sorry, that was just a random, things aren't working. Yes, that annoyed me that I spent all yesterday cutting the skirting, then priming it, then leaving it outside for it to then twist. Normally with real wood, a little twist like that isn't too much of a problem because all you do is throw it against the wall, glue, screw, nail, whatever, and you can force that twist back. But you can't do that with magnets. If I'm putting it against this, it needs to be straight as an arrow. So I've been out and got some of the MDF pre-done stuff, which is a little bit more expensive, but it needs to be straight. I should have thought about it really. It's not all of a loss. These two walls over here that aren't going to have this magical magnet skirting board, I'm just going to continue using that wood because it's already done. So I'm going to throw that on the wall in a minute. But now I've done this straight, this is so much easier. So at any point, I can just pull at the skirting board and see all the cables hidden below and then just put it back. Ooh, there we are. You can't even tell it's not a part of it. Yes, it's grown out a little bit, but I think it gives it a bit more of a royal, strong kind of skirting board. And once it's all painted as well, voice crack, Jesus. Once that's all painted, it's going to look pretty sweet as well. So I'm just going through now and remaking all these parts like this bit, so where the cables can finally finish, pop out, go straight up the leg of the table, and you should never see a cable.
Watching a soap opera, I feel your hands on my body. Wish we were getting naughty. Oh, I'm just getting started. Thinking about how you feel so right. Been dreaming all night, could you be mine? We can go up, or we can go down. Left or right, do or die. Come on, don't be shy. It's like something out of a movie. You see right through me. It's like you already knew me. We can go up, or we can go down. Left or right, do or die. Come on, don't be shy. We can go up, or we can go down. Left or right, do or die. Come on, don't be shy. Tonight, I don't wanna
way bigger job than I expected, but I ain't bothered because, as you can see the smile on my face, I'm a very happy man. Normally when I go to do a job in the house, I'll think of a bunch of ideas, some of them over the top, and then when it comes to actually doing it, I have to roll it back either due to money constraints or just the fact that I'm like, either A, it's not going to look very good, or B, it would, but you haven't got the skills to pull it off. So I have to go, oh, I can't really do that. This is the first time I've ever been in a room, I'm like, I am not compromising any which way. I'm going to do everything that I set out to do. Like the beam, that was an absolute killer. The worktop, I was going to go to IKEA and get one, but the 60 centimeters deep, I wanted it 64. Just so it hung over the edge of the unit. Now, normally I'd be like, oh, it's 4 centimeters, just go get it pre-done. So instead I had to make it myself. Granted, one, it's worked out way better than the IKEA unit, and it cost me £35 versus the 120, 140 pounds that IKEA was charging. It's the first time I've ever built one, and I think it's turned out absolutely spot on. There's a few little faults and dinks in it, but that's now the character that me and that worktop have spent 3 days together of just sanding, gluing, staining. I know the insides and out of that piece of wood, and now I'm married to it, kind of thing. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. But one thing I will say is I am terrible for estimating how long a job's going to take. I said 3 weeks, Joe said 4 weeks. It turned out to be 6 weeks. Granted, the last 2 weeks I was in here, but it's more about moving things around and getting everything correct. But either way, let me just show you a few decisions that I did in here and what kind of made me do certain things. So the first thing I wanted was to make sure that you didn't see any lighting. So obviously we've got all the lighting hidden behind the coving, and that's the only visible piece of lighting, but it needs to be because it's like a piece of art. All the other lights are hidden away behind pictures or underneath the plant pots to give it that kind of glow. And then we have one more hidden behind the actual camera. And then, as you saw in the video, we've got these little ones that are back here. These are for streaming to light my face up, but again, I don't want it to feel like a streaming room, so we can push the arms back. Likewise for these light up the green screen. They can go underneath there. We've got the mic arm, which obviously can just fold away and disappear behind the monitor, and shut that away. The only thing really that gives it a clue that this is a room for filming is the camera. Now, I could make some mechanism to fold it down, but then I'm gonna have to align it perfectly every time, so I don't mind just leaving that camera up there. And as you know, the green screen then just disappears straight into the roof, so there is no clue at all that this area is necessarily a streaming room. It looks more like just an office. We've got the Elgato foam pads on here because the acoustics was terrible. Me hitting there and then it bouncing off was really bad. So I've got these foam pads. They're a bit costly, but I just didn't want something plain. After spending this amount of time and effort into the room, I just wanted something that looked pretty cool. And it gives me like the alien ships vibe when I'm sat there working away. So there's the worktop, obviously, that I built. I am so happy, both with the colour. I've overstained some of these areas because it's the first time I've ever properly stained something that size, so a few mistakes was made, but I'm not bothered because that's now the character. Me and this piece of wood have spent a little journey together, and it also just glows so nice with these lights. Sadly, they don't look too great on camera. They just blow on camera, but in person, they're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm also going to be wiring these up because everything is set up to run on Apple Home, including the radiator. So because all home friendly, I can set each one of these up to actually do a task. So for instance, if I swipe down from there to there, it turns the heating down, up, heating up. Could press that to turn off the lights, that one to do something else. So I need to sit and prat about, but there's a lot of other stuff that I need to do. Like I'm going to build a server in here with some fans, so that's going to be on another video. And I can tell you one thing, this room is probably going to start to grow with the amount of plants because I have fallen in love with all these plants. So I'll just give you a quick run through. If you see anything, you're like, oh, what's that? The name will be up here because I cannot tell you the Latin names of all these. So I'll tell you the names that I've actually called them. This is Gump. Say hello to Gump. This one here, which is gorgeous with its tiny red leaves underneath, this is Geller. Then up here, this beautiful, delicate thing is Harry. We have Chandlo sat in the corner. That one was from IKEA. And then hanging from there is little Pappy. Now, all the plants, bar that one, I got from Foliate. I'll put a link in the description. They're a really cool online shop that tell you a lot about the plants suited for the rooms, because I'm not very big on doing all the indoor planting, but I wanted to get into it. So I decided to go with them. This is like a bit of like a bonsai tree kind of style, but I'm having to just move them around at the moment and work out who likes the light more and just get a nice balance on there. But I just think it makes the room look really nice having a bit of greenery. I'm contemplating installing a bar across the top so I can have a lot of hanging things in the background to break up some of the room. So the next thing was this bugger. This is obviously a rising desk, and originally, if you can remember in the original videos, it was like a beach colour. And when I finished the room and I looked at it, I was like, that looks absolutely atrocious in the room. So what I ended up doing is, even though it was a veneer, I decided to sand it, take off a very thin layer of the veneer and then stain it. And it actually took the stain, but the stain went really blotchy and horrible. I might have some pictures to show you why I'm talking about it. So then I was like, okay, that's failed. Option B, let's paint it black. Painted it black and it looked better. It definitely looked better. And I just couldn't see something that kind of marries this colour. Now, granted, this isn't as dark. And I was going to build it myself, but the only issue is, because this is a rising desk, we have a weight constraint to worry about. And I've got some decent chunky size arms on here, 3 monitors, and obviously occasionally your own weight when you lean on it. And I was like, because this thing is heavy. This is really heavy. And I was like, I don't dare make that. And also, each one of these are glued and obviously screwed. And I've even knelt on this and to climb on top of it, and it's fine. But I'm just scared if I built it myself, one day, one of the panels would snap and I'd wake up to a bunch of monitors on the floor. So I was just too scared to do it, and I don't think I could do it within the weight constraints. So I saw this top. It's not built for my stand, but I made it fit. And the other thing is as well, IKEA's got a great selection of desks, but a lot of them are 60 centimeters. And if you've ever had a 60 centimeter desk and then you go to the 75 or 80, which this is, I think it's 80 anyway, just that distance away from the monitor makes it. It's so much better. It's better for your back. I just can't say enough good things about giving yourself a bit of space on a desk. Then we got this nice mouse mat that we're going at the moment, which one of my friends from Twitch sent over to me because it was all bobbly and he didn't want it anymore. And I ran a razor blade all the way down it, got rid of the bobbles, and she's turned out absolutely gorgeous. And then one other thing I want to show off is this map, which is of the islands of Jurassic Park. So if you zoom in, you can actually see where all the pens are. This was a bit of a bugger to actually get to me because I originally ordered one of them and it was stolen artwork, which I didn't know. And when it turned up, the resolution of it was so poor, I had to get my money back, and that came from America. Then I found the original artist and I was like, oh, cool. Can I have some of your work? And I was like, yeah, it's going to cost you around about £50 and I'll get it to you in 6 weeks. I was like, well, that's no option. Then I found this one, which is slightly different to the one that I was looking at originally, but the quality of it is absolutely spot on, and it was much more reasonably priced. So we've gone with that, which I think looks gorgeous. So anybody who doesn't know, they're like, oh, it's just a nice looking map. But then for me, who's a bit of a geek, I'm like, oh, that is Jurassic Park. Right, I'm gonna have to leave it here because I keep doing this video and keep talking, and then I go on to another subject, like how much it cost and how much it's taken out of my soul. But I think all in all, it probably cost me around about £700, which is a lot of money. But it's because I didn't compromise. Like radiator, that is £140, I think it was. But then I didn't have a plumber install it, so I potentially saved £140. That in the background, that should have cost me £120. But I built it myself and it cost £35. So with that £120, I then went and bought this. So I managed to save some pennies, but then spend them, I think, in the right places at things as needed. Like that's a bit costly, but I just didn't want to compromise with just normal basic sound foam. So it's just, that's where the budget went, where I saved a lot of money doing all the work myself, just so I could then spend that little bit more on luxurious items like that. But either way, it is now all done. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much for watching these videos. And as always, if you do like them and you think they're good and you like to see more of them, press the like button. I don't need to tell you to subscribe. You'll subscribe if you need to. But seriously, pressing like tells the algorithm Uncle Junkie's doing some decent content. And talking of content, there should be some decent YouTube videos coming from here now, because I've actually got a nice backdrop and all the equipment's nice and easy to just get going. It means that I want to start doing some proper YouTube videos and doing some deep dives on particular subjects. So it won't necessarily be gaming or DIY. It's going to be more about why you shouldn't buy from Amazon or different things like that. So whatever tickles my fancy, I'm just going to do a lot more in-depth videos instead of just me going, hi, this is something I hate. I want to get some proper like stock footage and narrate over it. So they're like mini, 10-minute documentaries on a particular subject. So we shall see how we go. But either way, I'm done. I'm going to kick back in this room and edit this video down. And sorry it took so long between the other two, but I had to just get everything in place. But either way, I'm talking crap again. I must go. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.